This year, the tech industry is also seeing a surge in IPO activity, finally. Aside from the big names like Spotify, which is going public next week, and Dropbox, which went public last week, smaller startups like Smartsheet, Pivotal, and Zuora are also looking to exit. Dan, do you think this is a good sign for tech, or is this just, the valley has dried up, you're not getting those big deals anymore, and you just got to go to market to get that liquidity event?
I think it's a good sign. I'm tempted to caution, though, that, look, every company is different. I think we like to lump them all together and say that as Spotify goes and as goes Dropbox, others will come. We're all waiting still on companies like Airbnb, Pinterest, and, of course, Uber.
Yes.
But these were big. Dropbox was big. Spotify will be big. And as you said, the numbers are finally up. For a while, there was a drought in tech IPOs. Let's not go nuts here. It looks like the trend is reversing. We'll see. I still want to give it a little bit more time. Uber's a big one. And it's a good example because right now, there's no reason for Uber to go public. Why would it exit? It keeps getting higher and higher valuations. Let's see. I do think the valuation is getting so high that it's a little ridiculous. I mean, at this point, Uber can't sell. No one can, no one's going to buy it for $70 billion. It's ridiculous. Right. So it probably has to go public soon. But look, going public isn't right for every company. Some of these companies, there's a better route. There's a better way to pay back your deep-pocketed venture capitalist investors. But eventually, they want their money. So you got to figure out something. So this is very exciting. Now, Dropbox, I don't know about its chances in the long run. It's weird. It's sort of consumer-facing, but at the same time, it's a little enterprise-y.
Enterprise arm, and they're looking for that recurring revenue stream because they're basically upselling consumers to do the paid version.
And it's not as sexy as a Spotify.
Right.
Now, Spotify, that makes sense to me as a stock that you or I or some average person who isn't even an expert might want to have a little bit of a piece of.
Yeah, so is there an IPO? I mean, are you excited about Spotify, or are you really waiting until we see a Pinterest or an Uber or something like that?
I'm excited about Spotify a lot more than Pinterest. Actually, Pinterest is an example of a company that I'm sort of always surprised that we still hear about.
You're out on
say,
Pinterest.
It's hot. It's just, okay, pinning things, I'm over it.
Well, you're obviously not doing any interior decorating.
I'm not doing pinning. Now, Airbnb, that's a company that I'd like to see the IPO on. That's a company that, remember when demand for Facebook when it went public was so high, people's brokers were saying, oh my God. Yeah, and brokers were saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm getting calls, and regular people can't even get in. Even accredited investors with a ton of money couldn't get in because it was big institutional investors that were buying up shares. I think Airbnb will be the next example of that. I think that will be a bigger IPO than Spotify's.
Oh,
Airbnb is hot. Airbnb is sexy. Let's see what happens with that one.
Oh, there you go. Well, you heard it from Dan Roberts. Of course, we saw that news earlier this year. I think it was late last year, perhaps. They did a change at the top of the company, likely pushing their plans out by a year or so for an IPO. So we'll see where that goes.